The O'Reilly Factor's on tonight.
What about the goddamn kids here? Not just in this neighborhood, but in our country.
Anger in some minority communities over the federal government supporting foreign children. Tonight we'll have a special report, the unintended consequences of illegal immigration.
Our goal is to stop politicians from playing doctor.
2 U.S. senators demanding fewer abortion restrictions by the states. Are these people executioners, or is that unfair? We'll have a debate.
It's the new peeping Tom. They only cost $500. What's life going to be like when thousands of people have these?
Also up ahead, John Stossel may be spying on you using drones.
What does privacy mean?
Caution. You are about to enter the no-spin zone. The Factor begins right now. Hi, I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks for watching us tonight. The unintended consequences of illegal immigration, that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points memo. Whenever a dangerous situation is ignored, it's likely to get worse. In the Middle East, the Obama administration sat back while a terrorist army gained strength in Syria. Now ISIS controls a vast amount of territory and is threatening the world. Same thing on America's southern border. The Obama administration has not secured it. And now this fiscal year alone, we may have 100,000 foreign children to care for. That has angered many Americans, including some minorities who generally back President Obama on just about everything. In Chicago, where black children are being gunned down in the streets, the president's call for almost $4 billion to deal with immigrant children is being met with disdain.
With the president setting aside all of these funds for immigrants and forsaking African-American community and African-American families, I think that's a disgrace.
In Houston, there is also growing anger.
It's not right. Now billions of dollars want to be borrowed from the White House to help feed and house them. What about the goddamn kids here? In our neighborhood, in our country. Not just in this neighborhood, but in our country.
Now, it's easy to understand why poor Americans resent the illegal immigration intrusion, and there are other big problems as well. Feds are now shipping illegal aliens all over the country, but not informing the states about what's going on.
A couple days ago, Senator Johans found out that 200 illegal individuals had been sent to our state. No one has been notified us of that. Why are they conducting a secret operation, essentially, transporting them all over the country? And now we learn to Nebraska, and the federal government won't tell us what's going on.
In just a few moments, Is It Legal will tell us if the federal government is violating the rights of the individual states. In Iowa, the governor there flat out says he will not accept illegal aliens.
Just because we're an empathetic and supportive country doesn't mean that we can take everybody. People need to know that there is a legal way to come to this country and they need to follow the rules.
Obviously, President Obama is facing a crisis over illegal immigration. On his watch, more than 2 million illegal aliens have been apprehended, but many of them have been allowed to stay in the USA. In fact, just to get a hearing is an ordeal. Right now, close to 400,000 cases are pending. Nobody really knows how many illegal aliens are here. Estimates range from 12 million to 20 million. What we do know is that the Border Patrol can't control the present situation.
Our agents don't like to see these kids in these conditions, and especially coming off the long journey they've been subjected to, and then the diseases that some of our agents are contracting. We had one get a bacterial pneumonia a couple days ago. A lot of guys are coming down with scabies or lice from these people.
Also, the Washington Free Beacon reports there's been a disease outbreak at a Southern California naval base where foreign children are being processed. Now, Talking Points is not using scare tactics, but it's inconceivable that the huge influx of foreign children will not hurt Americans. It will. One vivid example. In Lynn, Massachusetts, a working-class suburb of Boston, the school district says foreign students have increased by more than 500 in the past 3 years. Last year in Lynn, nearly 250 students from Guatemala alone. enrolled in the public schools there. That puts an incredible burden on the local citizens of Lynn, who are not generally affluent people. Just the language problems alone strain the system. There comes a time when Americans have to realistically assess their federal government. And if you are paying attention, that assessment is grim and getting worse by the week. And that's the memo. Now for the top story tonight, is it legal? Here now, attorneys and Fox News analyst Kimberly Guilfoyle and Lee Swill. So, the law regarding taking immigrant, whether they be children or adults, doesn't matter, and secretly sending them to various states in various capacities, that's okay?
That is legal, as now written, and as the Supreme Court said, and a couple of years ago, they said immigration, the purview of immigration, is federal and federal only. If there is a state-federal conflict, the feds win. So that means, no, legally they do not have to tell the states. Could they? Absolutely. They could tell Nebraska.
Well, you think courtesy they would do it, but
right.
I still don't understand the legal aspect of this. Once the illegal alien crosses the border, is in the custody of the federal government, all right, the states are pretty much out of it, all right? They're out of it because the federal governments adjudicate whatever happens to the person who illegally comes here.
But the burden still falls on the state.
Yeah,
states have to pay for it.
But now the Obama administration says, hey, Nebraska, hey, Massachusetts, hey, New York, we're going to send these people to your property, property.
And you have to be responsible.
And you've got to, you have to pay for it. Essentially, you're going to have to pay for it.
Not through the hearings or anything like that, but certainly to house them, to keep them there, to
right.
get them to their sponsors or whatever.
The schooling, because they're here between 2 and 5 years before they even get a hearing.
You bring up a great point. Even just the language issues are a strain, not to mention the medical and physical issues. What about the families who have
I want to stay on the law.
The law is nebulous at this point in certain ways because the federal government, as Lee stated in the 2012 Supreme Court decision with the immigration laws affecting Arizona, has widespread authority to over all of immigration issues. So they're saying to the states, we're in charge. We're the big boss. You're going to do what we tell you to do.
I think a law has to be passed then that says the federal government has to reimburse the state and locals for any expenses.
And you know who has to do that? Congress.
Exactly.
Congress has to do it.
You were just with the power of the purse and say you have to reimburse these states as they put forward their individual expenses and what has happened.
Not that the Obama administration would care, because they don't seem to care what kind of deficit they run.
No, but you were just talking about that nearly $4 billion that they're asking for, the administration is asking for. So put a rider in that. Attach it, in other words, to that bill and say, and Congress could say, all right, administration, we'll get you your $4 billion or whatever it is, but you've got to reimburse the states and
for anything, and locals for any
tell the states what you're
because
doing.
The Lynn School District north of Boston, they have to pay for it themselves.
Well, they do.
The state of Massachusetts doesn't pay for that.
And how about some proper notice to the states if they're going to know there's going to be an influx like you said?
And they should put that in the rider too. You have to give proper notice that they're coming.
You have to prepare.
This is a scandal. This is such a big scandal. All right. Okay. Now I got to get to the 2 judges who have now ruled the IRS must tell Congress what happened to the emails, Guilfoyle. Right?
Yeah, this is really great because within one day you have 2 different judges. One, Judge Reggie Walton, who was a Bush appointee, and you have U.S. District Judge Emmett Sullivan, a Clinton appointee, telling the government, you've got to turn this over. There's something nefarious going on. We want to know all the information you have about the emails.
Under oath. That's the key.
Under an affidavit.
And unfortunately, it took 2 different groups, True the Vote, to put this case forward in front of in front of Judge Walton.
So the civilian groups sued. The judges ruled. Now somebody from the IRS, I bet you won't be the commissioner.
I don't think so.
He'll designate some flunky to go up there.
I think so.
Testify under oath. But he'll probably pick somebody who doesn't know anything.
But
that's not really the point, though, because what they asked for, to remember, is 2 years of those lost, quote unquote, lost emails.
Sure.
So even if it's some guy that doesn't know a whole lot, they've got to be able to go and say, these are all the ways that we try to do it. You know as well as I do, and everybody else out there knows that you can find those emails.
There's something very important, too, and also with respect to Judicial Watch, they filed a motion to compel a faster discovery because they're worried that more information is going to be destroyed destroyed, and they want a forensic auditor appointed to recover
and the judge
deleted
So
files.
I think, you know, look, they're making some progress, but it's going to take forever.
But why should it be this way? It's supposed to be a government based on transparency.
Why is the federal government falling apart?
And why can't Congress get the records and the information
because they have to go on vacation, Guilfoyle. You know that.
Right now, the judge is saying, the first judge is saying, July 18th, I want that affidavit right in front of me.
See what happens.
We'll be right there. Next on the rundown, ACLU suing on behalf of illegal alien children. Surprise! Later, crowd hammer on whether President Obama will be outfoxed by Iran in the nuke negotiations. Factors coming right back.